Nature, 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 nature. Happy, happy Saturday, Saturday, Saturday. It is finally Saturday. Is it Saturday today? Yeah, I think it is Saturday. On this beautiful morning. Beautiful, beautiful day. And I call it the beautiful day of consistency. Doing things at a repetitional order. Just like the same way the universe is rotating, I'm rotating with it. I'm just moving with the universe. I rotate with the universe every morning because I don't think this planet ever stops spinning. So it moves. That's what I think it is. That's what I think it is. The planet just moves at a pace, and I'm moving with it. It was actually a new moon yesterday. It came right about that. It was in 9:45. I know it came sometime yesterday, so I was supposed to get up and sort of just say thank you. It is one of the things that I begin to put my energy into these days. The moon, the whole essence of it, the sun, and all those things, how they really, really correlate to how I think provide me food, all type of things that I fail to recognize sometimes just because of certain upbringing. So the moon has been something that I begin to get really interested in lately. It's just amazing, those two things. I even begin to sun gaze. Just so that I can get an understanding of Miss Jacqueline. Good morning, beautiful. How are you doing? So just that way I can get the understanding of this planet of mine. Today is what I'm calling number 77. So 77 marathons since April. It's a very interesting thing though. But I always give that thanks to the divine womb, the woman's womb. Because like lately, more I get into myself, my process are changing. I really want to align more with actually makes sense to my brain. And what makes sense to my brain is a seed was dropped into my mother's stomach for some beautiful reason, some divine invention. She was able to procreate, or whatever she did, that designed my whole full body, and I'm out. So because of those, I begin to understand more about my feminine side. The numbers that I even carry, because I did a reading the other day, and I've always wanted to be more of it, because growing up in my Yoruba tradition, they always talk about the Iyamis, but now I fully know what it means. I met an English guy on this road the other day. I got to talk properly. So yeah, that divine energy, that feminine energy, and I'm always going to keep on saying it, because we are so much in the he all the time, so we do not leave a balance. So like the moon and the sun is the yin and the yang. So every philosophical idea that was put into our head, it was just sometimes they're beautiful, but they're also delusionized. So I always say, if somebody tells me you're in shape, I'm looking at them thinking, yeah, right, I'm in shape, all right. Tell me what push-ups and stretching that I need to do that will allow me to push out a baby in 9 months. When you could tell me what push-up or what I need to do to be able to push a human being out, then I would realize I'm in shape. So until then, woman, you're more in shape than I am. So and truly, that's just my whole thinking. I have really shifted away from all that stories. I like to do with reality, and that reality is I came out of a womb. So the rest of the things that has been portrayed to me, I think it's just almost like a fairy tale. And I think that has its own psychological disturbances on its own. And that's why a lot of time we get angry when it's being challenged. Because anything that you can get angry upon when it's being challenged means you got to question it. Because you cannot question nature. Everything about nature is so immaculate, you cannot even question it. You could debate, but anything that you have to bring out a code to prove the individuals questioning you is questionable. I've never heard of people argue over did you come out of a woman's private part? Nobody argues about that. There's no scripture about it. We don't even talk about it. But everything else, spiritual religion, we tend to argue about it a lot. We're very into that, and it's just because it's not reality. It is just a fluke, and it makes sense at a certain stage of our brain developing. But when we begin to sit spiritually, mentally, it is very confusing, and it is almost a question mark to it. So yesterday, on this beautiful morning, I love this life. And I was sort of thinking about meditation, because when I talk about meditation, people always say, I can't meditate, my mind is not still. And how do I say it without offending people? I'm like, so my whole thing is, if you can have sex or masturbate, trust me, you can meditate. Because in order for you to do all those things, you have to be at a certain stage of mind. Your mind has to be settled. Most single women would tell you that, or men. Because in order for you to do stuff like that, you have to be in a state of quietness. Play a certain music or do whatever you want to do. So when people come up with I can't meditate because I can't sit still, I truly think is a denial of the senses, because it's absolutely impossible. So basically, if you can get physical with a male or a female, and you can also get pleasurized physically with yourself, you can meditate. So, and I think putting it that way, because a lot of people always say, I can't stand still, my mind wanders. No. When you want to get into those stage of mindset, you create those sort of settings. And I think a lot of this is just coming based from our traditional upbringing of looking outside of ourselves. Because it's so amazing how when you want to do anything that's pleasurable like that, you look within yourself. At that moment, you stop calling every entity that was introduced to you, whether it's a god or a lie. At that moment, when you are about to pleasurize yourself, you do not call any of those names. You have to go deep into your senses for you to be able to produce that sense of pleasure by yourself. So, and I know it's funny because a lot of these things will sound so graphic. And once again, based on the illusion, because when man wants, I'm not going to say man, in order to control the beings all you have to do is control his sex life. So when she makes his sex life, though, you control his sex life, you could tell him any biscuit that you want him to hear or her. And I think that's what's going on, because we put that side of our body, we make it look like it's raw or nasty or all type of things. But the most graphic and evilest ideology ever, we portray to be normal. So in a sense, when you truly look at yourself, you are the epitome of love, because that's how you were created. But that love, for some reason, due to some cowboy teaching, was eliminated out of the system, and we use the word sin, this is that, and no explanatory to that kind of ideology. And that's why a lot of us are born to unwanted parents, unwanted relationships, because we've never really studied what brought us into this planet. I, for one, was guilty of it. Many years ago, growing up, it's like I put so much energy into getting laid. It's nothing funny that when I look at it, it's like, man, I wish someone had explained it to me better. Because that's what we grew up doing. We put so much energy into sex. And that's what I love about the Eastern philosophy, because all those things are taught at an early age. Because that's who you are, and that's what made you. You cannot deny that. All these other stories, however you want to think it, it's just not your making. It's not earthly, nor is it psychological, embedded, level-headed with your brain. So yes, this morning, another beautiful day, because we always think about, oh, I want to heal the world. Well, in order for you to heal the world, you have to start by understanding your own sexuality, why you want to have sex and why you don't want to have sex. That's where it all begins, because the way I look at it, in the beginning, there was sex, then you and I come along. So everything else is just, And that's why we're so afraid of it, where everybody wants to have it. Because once you understand it, you learn how to respect it, and you realize something that will procreate with nature. Like, for example, the new moon is out. There's a reason why it rotates like that. There's a reason why women get their powerful energy circle every month. And mind you, none of these books ever talked about that. It's absolutely amazing that we embedded ourselves so much in these books that really, really deny reality. No, you can't even get any one of these books to talk about a woman's period, but yet we embrace it so much. So, and that's something to think about. Because if these books are written and they're so intelligently written, but yet the whole idea of a woman having her menstruation cycle is denial, is absolutely questionable. So yes, another beautiful day today on this 26-mile meditative jog. I like coming into different neighborhoods. So when I first start every morning like this, I get to talk before I really get into my thoughts, because all these things has been pondering up with me when I started meditating this morning. So I've actually been up since about 2:30. So I'm really in my day already. So Miss Jacqueline, what's up? This is what you're missing in Georgia. You see this? You guys don't have this in California. We have trees in Georgia. I think you should move back. See all those nice trees? Anyway, let me go ahead and finish this run before I get chased down by a dog. I'm going to say happy Saturday and we're love.